Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am delighted to have Blackmon Huckabee Jr. as my return guest today. Blackmon is my nephew. He is a Clemson football tiger, and you've got great things happening for you today. You are releasing your first single. We're so excited for you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. This has been a really, really long journey.
You have worked so hard to get to this point, but I want to remind my audience first of your journey. You have a love for music. You've been singing since you were in high school and probably before that,
Yeah.
but you also became a Clemson University Tiger football player. And during that time, you sang the national anthem. You were the first person as a Clemson football Tiger player to sing the national anthem at a game. And you just stardom happened right then for you. People really started recognizing you. So walk us through your journey to where you are today to releasing your first single.
Yeah, so obviously we had that national anthem thing happen, and that kind of stemmed from that meeting video in the meeting room of me singing Tennessee Whiskey in front of all the coaches. That kind of took off and just led me to have more opportunities down the road, like the national anthem here, the one with Orlando Magic, and eventually, getting some stuff with American Idol and The Voice and whatever that I can't necessarily talk about. But I eventually really wanted to branch out and do what I was always so passionate about, which was actually create music and make music and kind of put my own mark on things. And I didn't really know how to go about doing that. And so I was just looking for the right opportunities, looking for the right moments, and trying to keep whatever I had going. And that's when I saw a guy who was very similar to me. He was a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. His name is Blake Pearl. He was just on American Idol. And I saw that he had been making music, and he actually got hurt, which is very similar to me.
Yeah.
I had the compartment syndrome injury where I almost got my right leg amputated, which is why I started posting singing videos in the first place, because I was like, all right, we need to pivot here. I might not be able to do football forever. That kind of really set in at that moment. And then even after that, I fractured my tibia on my left leg and had to get a metal rod put in at my ankle all the way up to my knee. And so I was really thinking like, all right, we really need to lean into this music stuff.
Yeah.
And so I saw him, and I saw that he'd torn his knee up, and he started making music as well. And I really liked the production of his music. I thought it was like super professional and super great. And so I didn't know this guy, but I reached out to him and I said, hey man, like, we're very similar. I want to start making music. Like, how'd you do it? Who's your producer? I really want to get started. And so luckily enough, he answered me, and he sent me his producer. His name's Zach Fody, and he's actually based out of Minnesota, which is not like a typical place for producers to be based out of. When you're really thinking about music, you're kind of thinking like New York, LA,
Right.
Atlanta, and Nashville, but like total hidden gems. So glad that Blake introduced me to this guy, because he's extremely talented, and we just clicked right from the jump, and we just started creating. And this was probably back in, I don't know, December or January is when we really started working. And I had already written probably 2 songs by December that we were already working on. And it's kind of a hard process, and I'll try to brush over it as quickly as I can. Our process with him being in Minnesota and me being in Clemson was we were doing a lot of online work. We were building the music through kind of a similar situation that we're doing right now. We were on this thing called Muse, which is kind of like Zoom, but I can see everything he's doing on his computer. So I could see what instruments he was putting in, or like what effects he was putting in, or the vocals and everything. And so I was actually I'm up here in the Clemson Branding Institute right now in our facility. There's a studio like right around the corner over there, and I was recording all of our demo vocals, which are not the official vocals that'll be on this song, but just something to like get us going so that we can create from a distance. I was recording them all here, like utilizing Clemson stuff, which is like
cool.
so awesome. They just built it, so it almost like kind of worked out perfectly.
Yes.
But once we got it to a point, remotely, that we felt confident about it, I actually flew out there and got some real studio time with him, where we actually cut the real vocals and background vocals and everything. And
What
then
was it like to be in a studio like that? I mean, that had to be just really exciting for you.
yeah, well, I had never done it before, and I was flying out, and I'd actually never met Zach in person. So I was a little, and it was really cold in there. Honestly, Minnesota's cold, and so
Streets are
I was
always cold.
at first I was really kind of like a little bit nervous. I wanted him to know that I was like a good singer, and like I don't know. The first day that I was there, I was a little bit more uptight. I was there for the weekend, and so. But after a while, when I kind of settled in and like realized, all right, well, you gotta lock in, man. Like you really gotta, this is the time that matters right here. These are the vocals that are going to be going out to the world.
Rise to the occasion. Now's your
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to know each other better, and we settled right in, and we started creating. We worked on 2 songs while we were out there, and at that point, flew back. We had the vocals, and we were able to work remote again to build out the rest of the instrumental to a point where we really liked it. And that's kind of the mix phase, which takes probably like 3 to 4 weeks of Zach, the producer, just kind of adding stuff in, trying stuff. I kind of set some notes on the demo that we finally had with the official vocals in, and we just kind of kept building it out until we had a finished product. Once we had a finished mix, which comes after the demo and after you get the official vocals, you send it off to get mastered. And luckily, Zach has been doing this for a really long time. Zach's the producer, and he has been best friends with this guy named Dale Becker, who just so happens to be probably the top mastering engineer in the entire industry. Mastered Billie Eilish's new album that just came out, SZA's last album that just came out. He did some Dolby Atmos work with Harry Styles' Grammy-winning album. Like any artist that you can think of, he's worked with Justin Bieber, he's worked with The Weeknd. Just kind of, he knows what he's doing, right? And so out of the jump, we're going to have like great production quality. Everything's going to be industry standard. Creatively, everything was written by me, instrumental done by Zach, melodies by me, background vocals by me, all lyrics by me. But like, as far as the sound quality goes, we're going to be up there competitive with the industry standard. And so just
It's amazing to me. Sorry, I was just saying, it's amazing to me how you can create music by your voice, implementing it in different ways, pulling together the technology to create a song. You would think people think, oh, you got to have a band, you got to have all this. You don't. It's beautiful that you're able to do all of that, and that you played such a major role in all of it, writing it, the lyrics, and all of the music, the vocals, the backgrounds. It's so exciting. So now we're to the point where you have to tell us about the song.
Yeah. So I think when I sang the Tennessee Whiskey video, a lot of people probably thought that I was going to come out singing country music. I grew up listening to like a ton of R&B music. So I've got a ton of influence coming from a ton of different genres. But as far as this song goes, I initially created it to be more R&B than it turned out. But we kind of are right in that cross between pop R&B. It's kind of like I would say like a modern day version of like kind of what Justin Timberlake used to do. I think it's kind of in that cross to where it could be accepted by a lot of people. Hopefully it is accepted by a lot of people.
It will be accepted.
But I think, I'm really going to give you those. It's kind of a summer song to me, but I feel like it's pretty versatile. I think it's super catchy. I think the delivery is really smooth, and I think the melodies are really fun, and I think lyrically it paints out a really good picture. And I just overall, I really thought it was important for people to be able to move to the music. I want people to like really enjoy the listen. I didn't want to come out too heavy. I did a lot of the singing that I do on TikTok that I'm covering just so happens to be like piano ballads, which is like, that's the only karaoke's or whatever I can find on YouTube. Like I'm not too savvy with it. So this is kind of like a big switch out the jump, but I think it's very much me and in the direction that I'm trying to go as an artist. And I really do think even though if you wanted me to go to country, I think you're still going to enjoy it. I really, really do.
Your fans are going to love it. I love the bravery and the confidence, though, to make that shift and maybe do something a little bit different than your audience might expect. So what's the name of the song, and would you want to hum a little bit of it or put a little bit?
I just finished working some of these Clemson football camps not too long ago. I don't really have too much of a voice right now, but the song is out now. It's called Run With Me. You can find it on all streaming platforms. I'm under the name Blackmon. I just went with the first name, Blackmon.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know why? Cher did it. Oprah did it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I just thought Blackmon Huckabee might have been a little like just a mouthful, a little bit. I just wanted to kind of be a little smoother. But yeah, you can find it anywhere. Wherever you listen to music, it's gonna be there. I've posted a ton of content about it too as well on all my socials. That's at Blackmon Huck on all my socials. There's a lyric video up on YouTube. If you need kind of a visual, anywhere you want to listen, anywhere you can consume it, it's there to be consumed.
So when you are a huge star, you'll just be Blackmon, right?
Just be Blackmon.
I love it.
And
So
that's also a little bit strategic, and I'll say why. Every single time I'm out somewhere or meeting somebody, and they're like, "What's your name?" and I'm like, "Blackmon." They're like, "What?" They're like, "It's not a common name." It's like I really need to.
it will be soon. It
That's
will
what
be
I'm saying. Yeah, I'm trying to like set it in stone. Like, oh, that's Blackmon. Okay, that's normal. Instead of being like, "What is your name?" Like, are you kidding me? So it's a little bit different, but it's really unique, and it's who I am. And so, yeah, I thought it was really strong, and I just think it fits.
It totally fits. And it's called Run With Me. So how did you come up with the title?
That's just it's a lyric that just repeats in the song a little
Okay.
bit in the hook. As far as my writing goes, I never really know what I'm gonna write about until I get to the hook, and then after I listen to the song, I'm like, oh, it should probably be called this. Like I don't have like something in my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna write about this today. I
Right.
listen to the music and I just kind of feel it. I'm like, it makes me feel this way, and if it makes me feel that way, then maybe some people will feel that way too. And I was just really trying to resonate with the listener.
Do you find yourself in the middle of the night waking up and thinking, that would be a great lyric or that'd be a great tune and writing it
I'm so
down?
glad you asked. So I
You
mean,
have to do that
right
somewhere.
behind me over here is the weight room. And there was one morning, I don't know what made me do this, but I started singing these random lyrics and this random melody, and I was like, wow, that would really fit great in my song in the bridge. So I actually wrote the bridge while I was bench pressing
No way.
at like probably like 6:45 in the morning.
Right. So you're bench pressing. Do you stop
I
and put in your
stopped and
notes
like
and
in my head, I like was trying to sing it the whole rest of the workout. And the minute that I got back into the locker room, I voice memoed it into my phone. And then when I got to my computer, I started writing the lyrics out. It was pretty crazy. And so
That's so
the bridge was
awesome.
written during a Clemson football lift. Yeah.
So now we have this vision of you, singing and like pressing
Yeah.
weights at the same time. Well,
Yeah.
when you are inspired, you're inspired, or when it hits, and you have to like immediately act upon it. I hear
Gotta
that all
run
the
with it.
time with people who write, whatever it is. If you don't, and they'll say, I have a phone in my notes section just full of things, right? So it's the same
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah, if I played you my voice memos right now, you'd think I was a weirdo because it's just a bunch of like
You're
humming
like,
weird noises and yeah, it's pretty funny.
you're like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, no.
So, what are you working on now? I mean, this Run With Me is out today.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning of your bright future. What's next?
Yeah, I've been writing for a while. I'm sitting on a lot of great stuff. Um I if I had it my way, I'd get it all out there immediately, but that's not how it
Patience.
works. Yeah, it's not really how it works. But yeah, I'm sitting on a lot of stuff. I know I've got to have a really strong follow up to this strong start, and so yeah, just stay tuned because we're gonna keep going and we're gonna experiment with a lot of sounds
That was
within
my
what I think
question.
the vibe is. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like a one trick pony. I think something that makes me really special, and you can fact check me on this, but I cover a ton of different genres all across, all my content on TikTok. If you go and look at that, I'm singing a bunch of different songs. I think my voice can do a lot of different things. So I don't think I'm limited. I think vocally, I give you a lot of strong, impressive vocals in this first song, but there's a lot of room that I didn't go in just because I was really more so trying to create a vibe, trying to create a feel. I wanted to make something catchy. I wanted people to be able to move to it, so I didn't want to go too crazy. That stuff's gonna come. It's gonna come. I think vocally, I'd be able to hold my own with anybody, and so I think that's gonna allow me to experiment with a lot of different sounds and take a lot of big chances that are going to end up paying off in the back end. So
100%. And you've said this twice now. I want people to move with my music.
yeah,
So, but that leaves the field wide open
right.
for whatever genre you want to choose. And your voice is so it's just you're just so flexible and you just have such range with your voice. Whatever you choose, we'll be moving with it. It'll
I
be
hope
all
so.
good.
I hope
Absolutely.
so. But for
So
my
you're
mom,
not
at some
gonna
point, I will slow it down. I'll slow it down and write a beautiful ballad at some point. We'll get
smile.
there. We'll get
Okay.
there.
Now
But
you must
I
think that
want
are people wanting that from you? Are they like
well, I
are they
feel
like,
like
are you getting people say, we want the love song Blackman? What are they saying?
I think initially when people look at the stuff I've covered in the past, that's kind of the sound that they expect. And then I show them the song and they really enjoy it. They love it. And they're like, this is awesome. They're like, I wasn't expecting that, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
We were just expecting like something a little slower, which we'll get there. But at first, I really wanted to come in. I didn't want to come in too heavy. I wanted to come in. I wanted to come in fun with the vibes, but I still wanted to be impressive. I still wanted to really throw in the things that I do well, which is singing. I wanted to actually sing for you, but I also wanted to just create a feel, create a vibe. I want people to be able to move. I want people to enjoy it. I want it to be able to be played in a bunch of different places. And so that was just really important to me. Instead of just being like, let me show you how well I
Right.
think I can sing. I think it was more about creating real music rather
Yeah.
than just showing off in that sense.
Actually, it sounds like you are making a statement with your first single, and it will really resonate with people. I know it will. Run with Me. We can find
Yeah,
it on
everywhere,
everywhere.
everywhere.
Spotify. We just go in
Spotify,
there, we
music.
search Run
eh,
With Me by Blackman. Doesn't
Yes,
that sound wonderful?
sounds so great.
Cool. All right. Well, we're it's out today. I want all of my listeners and viewers and followers to go follow Blackman uh, on all of his socials and to listen to his new first single, "Run with Me." And the best is yet to come. We know it's coming, so you're just getting started. It's good stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Congratulations! You know what? I cannot wait to start listening to it and put it on my playlist. It's gonna
Yeah, you
be.
gotta play it. You gotta play it around everywhere. Share it to everybody.
I'll be like, I know him. I know him. All right, Blackman, thank you so much. And congratulations on your first single, Run With Me. It's just the start of a bright future for you. And it's really been an honor to personally get to know you and to be in your family now. So thank you for that.
Well, we're really happy to have you in our family.
All right. And that will do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day.